So you got a new rim, but you don't know or want to know how to lace it. So I got this new rim yesterday and I need to lace it up, but quite honestly, I've never been good at lacing wheels and I don't have the patience to learn how to lace wheels or take it somewhere to get it done. So I figured out a way to do it without having to learn how to lace them, and I'm gonna show you that right now. So first of all, get out anything from your wheel that doesn't need to be there or will get in the way. You might want to take off your hub guards. You don't have to actually, because the way that we do this leaves the spokes exactly in the same place, and unless you have a broken spoke, you shouldn't need to take your hub guard off if you have a G-Sport or any other hub guard that like laces through the spokes like this one does. But unfortunately, I have a broken spoke, so I have to take off my hub guard at least enough to put a new one in. Broken spoke. All right, let's move the camera and start talking about how to do this. Okay, so to be completely honest, I just went through this whole tutorial and hated the way I did it, so I'm gonna start over right now. And the first step that we're gonna do is we're gonna put tape on the side of the new rim so that it doesn't get scratched up by the old rim and the new rim moving against each other. So you're just gonna put tape all the way around the sidewall of the rim. Very simple. So I'll say it again, don't hold me accountable if this hurts anything. I'm just doing what I've done for years and what has always worked for me, and I've never had problems with my wheels after doing this. So, got it all taped up, pretty simple. Now the next step is to loosen all of the spokes in your wheel. I didn't do this in the first run through with this tutorial and it turned out terrible, so that's what we're gonna do. You're gonna loosen them all up so that they're basically looser than finger tight. Okay, so now that we're getting towards the end, I don't know how well you can see it, but most of the spokes already loosen themselves up because as you loosen around the rim, it's putting less pressure on everywhere else. One other thing to note is that usually it's a good idea to replace your spokes and nipples, but if you either can't afford it or yours are still in good shape, I don't know if there's any reason why it's bad to not replace them. I've not replaced mine plenty of times, and I'm sure there's honestly some spokes in here that are from the first time this hub was built up, and this hub's 5 years old. So we got all of the spokes finger tight or finger loosened, whatever you want to say. The next step is to orient your rim the way it should be, and to do that you find the valve stem, which is right here on this rim, and you find the valve stem on your new rim, which is right here. You line them up, and what you want to make sure of, and I'll get a second angle on this with my phone, is that the top hole here lines up with the top hole on the old rim, bottom hole lines up with the bottom hole, and if you have both of those lined up on both sides of your valve stem, then the rest are going to be lined up, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Once that's done, I like to start at one side of the valve stem, and you take the top cross spoke and you loosen that up and you put it into the new rim. And literally this is what we're gonna do for the rest of the rim. First you start with the layer of spokes that go across the very top so that there's no resistance, you don't have to bend them putting them into the new rim. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And then after that, you go with the other layer of top spokes, and then from there, you go with the bottom layer of spokes and you do the first layer that doesn't have any resistance, is crossed over what is the top from this angle, and then you just go all the way around again, and then you're done from there. So I'll time lapse through the rest of this. So now we've started on the second round of top layer spokes, and one thing we can point out is that we're now putting spokes in the top hole that's directly between the spokes that we've already done. So as long as you're going in the middle hole and putting it in the top side, you should be good to go. And continue just moving around the rim. And while I was doing this, I was thinking of a couple pros to this to outweigh the cons of not knowing whether or not it's bad to do. First of all, whenever you get a new wheel or new rim and you have to lace up a new rim, if you unlace it all the way, you're pretty much doing this twice, whereas the way we're doing this now, we're unlacing the rim as we're lacing the new one and putting the spokes directly from the old rim into the new one, effectively saving some sort of time. And considering the fact that this has always worked for me, I'd say that it's worth it. So we'll get back to the time lapse of doing this and then we'll check in if necessary. Okay, so now we're getting to the last spoke of the wheel, other than the broken one that I haven't replaced yet. That really didn't take me very long. I mean, I time-lapsed through it, but it probably took me 20 minutes, if that. And I know that there's people who can lace wheels that fast, but I saved the time of unlacing it, bent some of the spokes a little bit weird, but at the same time, I have a built wheel now and I can true it after about 20 minutes. So if you're maybe not the best wheel builder, or you don't want to take the time to learn how to build wheels, or you're just extremely impatient like me and can't take it somewhere and then wait to get it and you want to ride your new stuff right now, here's a way to transfer your old spokes, nipples, and hub to your new rim in about 20 minutes. With all that's left to be done is truing. So hopefully somebody found this useful. Let me know if you've done this before, or if you have a faster way that's just as easy. This is also a way to keep your spokes exactly where they were on your hub flange. Once again, do it at your own risk. I don't know how bad it is for your hub, your rim, your spokes, whatever. I've never had any problems with it, so I know this has probably been done a lot, but I thought I'd make a video on it, and I hope that you found it useful. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.